Hello, welcome to week 4 of the NFL forecast and picks. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino, CDM number 9. Just before we start, so far, the record, as far as my picks, has been 28 and 20. Not bad. The first week I was 8 and 8, then 10 and 6 the past 2 weeks, so not bad for overall. It's not like I'm a professional in terms of picking these games in terms of wins and losses. I usually just go by based on my thoughts on the offensive and defensive lines, and we go from there. So let's start off first with Arizona and Seattle. I am going with Seattle for the win here, although again, I think this is going to be another interesting type game. No weather impacts as the games will be played indoors. Then we got Minnesota versus Pittsburgh. I'm going with Minnesota for the win. They're going to be in Ireland. So the reason why I'm going for the win here is that Minnesota is used to playing more indoors. Pittsburgh has more of the experience with the elements. I'm not sure what the field is going to be like in Ireland. I do expect scattered cloud cover, temperatures in the lower 60s. But there's a lot of unknowns in terms of the environment, which I think that Pittsburgh can adjust to a little bit better. So I'm going with them with the win, but it's probably going to be something like a 10-7 type game. Usually these international games could be a little bit wonky, so we'll see how that works out. Next, we got Atlanta versus Washington. I'm going with Atlanta with the win here. They are playing indoors. I think that Atlanta is due for a nice little solid game against Washington, which I think is trying to find their identity. I think they're doing a better job this year, but I think Atlanta's going to win this game. Now, Buffalo versus New Orleans. Buffalo has gotten to the point, even as a Chiefs fan, that I have to say that they are an elite team. And they're going to be one of the tougher teams to beat in the AFC. The Chiefs are starting to get their footings back under themselves after a 2-game, let's call Super Bowl hangover type scenario. But I think that Buffalo is a team that is going to win a lot of games this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the number 1 seed. And they just have everything going for them really nicely. Good offensive line, good defense, great quarterback. So I really like to see them winning this game pretty easily in New Orleans. And as far as the weather impacts, against New Orleans, as far as the weather impacts, looking for scattered cloud cover with temperatures in the mid-70s in Buffalo. Next, we got Cleveland and Detroit. I like Detroit's just a better team overall than Cleveland. As far as the weather impacts that I'm expecting, looking at, well, basically they're playing indoors because they're playing at Detroit. So there won't be any weather impacts. So there we go. Now let's talk about Carolina at New England. Going with Carolina for the win here. New England, again, is a team that's starting to rebuild itself and find its own identity. I think Carolina's going to be a little bit better in this scenario. As far as the weather impacts, only some scattered cloud cover and temperatures are in the mid-70s. Giants at Chargers. This could be a very interesting weather impact game. There is a tropical feature that is going to be a little bit of a pest off the southeast coast. There's going to be an upper level low to your south, and that's going to lead to cloudy skies with the threat for showers, and those showers are going to be capable of tropical downpours. So that is going to have a major impact on the game. Also expecting temperatures in the lower 70s. I'm expecting the Chargers to win here because the Giants just seem lost, okay? Defense isn't all that great. The offense, well, maybe with Dart coming in, maybe they'll start solidifying and being a little bit better. But the Chargers are just, again, one of those teams in the AFC that's going to be an elite team. I think they're going to be putting up a real fight with the Chiefs for the AFC West. And if they're going to lose a game or two, it's not going to be against a team like the Giants. But the weather creates a wild card. So I'm going with the Chargers, but I wouldn't be surprised if some shenanigans via a tropical downpour, and that could impact the game. Next, we have Philadelphia at Tampa Bay, going with scattered showers, temperatures in the mid-80s. Again, I think that Philadelphia will beat Tampa Bay, but this is going to be a very high-scoring game, a very interesting game at that. Now, we got Tennessee at Houston. They play indoors, so not much in the way in terms of weather impacts. Looking for Tennessee to win this game pretty handily. I just don't like the way Houston plays right now, but we'll see. Next, we got Indianapolis at the Rams. Indianapolis is a very interesting team. They're undefeated. They have a lot of players with a lot of chips on their shoulders because they were kind of discarded, like one certain quarterback. So they have a lot to prove, and it looks like they're doing it. I am going with the Colts here to beat the Rams and to surprise everybody. I really like the way that Indianapolis plays. They play as a cohesive unit. They all pick each other up. And it's not just one person that is making the difference, but the whole team as a whole is really playing solid defense and solid offense, picking up interceptions at the right time, making great passes when they need to, great running plays, great blocking. So I'm going to go with Indianapolis shocking the Rams. And I am expecting only scattered cloud cover with temperatures in the mid-70s as they are playing in California. Jacksonville at San Francisco, expecting scattered clouds, temperatures in the upper 60s. For this game, expecting San Francisco to beat Jacksonville. It's not going to be a pretty game, though, especially with all the injuries that San Francisco is dealing with. Next, very interesting game, Baltimore at Kansas City. Has Kansas City found its groove again? Are they ready to take the next level and go 2-2 on the year and push past the poor start to the season? Is Baltimore a elite team, or is it a team that is struggling on defense and will once again come up just short? A lot of narratives to watch here. I'm going with the Chiefs since they're at home. I think they're a better team than Baltimore. I think that the Chiefs' offense will expose the Baltimore's defense. So I'm going with the Chiefs. As far as the weather, expecting sky cloud cover temperatures in the upper 70s. Then we have Chicago at Vegas. Luckily, weather won't be one of the factors as to why Vegas loses. Expecting indoor conditions because they play indoors. So not an issue whatsoever. So I'm expecting Chicago to easily handle Vegas. Then we got Green Bay at Dallas. This, again, is going to be one of those games because of some silly trades by a silly owner in Texas. I think Green Bay is going to win this game. But again, this is not going to be a pretty game. If you're looking for a purist type of game in terms of great defense, great offense, this is not for you, but it is going to be a fun one, I think. I think Green Bay pulls this out against Dallas. Then we have two Monday night games. Miami are playing the Jets. The Jets are at Miami. I'm expecting some scattered showers that could have slight impact on the game. Nothing really too significant in terms of the weather. Looking for lower to mid 80s for temperatures. Two bad teams. Someone's got to win. So I'm going to go with the Jets here. Going for their first win against Miami, a team which just seems to be fighting itself, to be frank. So I'm going to go with the Jets since at least they're all going in one direction. It may be losing, but at least it's one direction, right? Whereas Miami seems to be fighting against itself. Then we have Denver versus Cincinnati. Now, this is at Denver. I'm expecting cloudy skies, temperatures falling from the lower 70s into the lower 60s. I really like how much Denver has improved. And this is why the AFC West is going to be a little bit more of a fight than what we've seen over the past 8 years. I think that they're better than Cincinnati. I think I like their defense better. Not by much, but a little bit. And I think they're starting to figure things out in the offense. Whereas Cincinnati, well, they have injuries and their line doesn't block no matter who's playing quarterback. So I'm going to go with Denver taking out Cincinnati. We'll see how I do. Maybe another 10-6. We'll see how that plays out. One thing's for sure, I'd probably say the top weather game is setting up to be that Giants game. Chargers at the New York Giants in the Meadowlands with the potential for some tropical downpours. That could be interesting. That is your forecast and picks for this week. Have a great one, and as always, stay safe out there.